this discussion. So again, just like what I told you guys, I prepared 20 questions here for you. We'll try to answer this in a span of an hour in order for you to actually have that pacing sa NLE. Okay? Kasi ganyan talaga halos ang pacing ng NLE. It allows you to, be prepared and at the same time talagang mahaba siyang exam. So, kanina may nagtanong, Sir, ano pang magandang gawin para mag-prepare sa NLE? Three important things lang po. First, you need to plan out how are you going to run your actual review. Okay? It could be based on a review center. You could do it yourself. Point of the matter is you need to make sure that it is focused on the most essential parts. And what are those essential parts? You have enough time to read. You have enough time to test your skills based on the questions or to answering questions online, on books, or whatever sources that you might have. And finally, also, the time that you're going to spend to rest. Yes, narinig niyo po ng tama yun. Kailangan nyo ring magpahinga. Hindi nyo po pwedeng patayin yung sarili ninyo just for the purpose of answering NCLEX or other NLE questions. Okay, now let's go and start our first question. Okay, so our first question is focused primarily on the preparation, a very, very fundamental aspect, the subcutaneous injection. So why do we use subcutaneous? In most cases, saan natin ginagamit yung subcutaneous access? Anyone who could tell me? So subcutaneous access is very most commonly used for medications that are best, okay, absorbed where? In our subcutaneous tissues. So essentially, its main purpose is to allow you to what? Okay? Yeah, it's to allow you to effectively create an absorption of the medication for that one. So, with this at hand, my dear students and my dear listeners here in live, what would be the best answer for this? What is the appropriate angle in order for you, okay, to put the needle or to insert the needle? Okay, this would be very good. It's going to be 45 degrees. And where are you going to place this? Okay? You're going to place this in areas, okay, that are rich in fat. Hindi po rich in muscle. Kaya nga gigil na gigil yung ibang mga nurses doon sa video na yon. Remember? Subcutaneous, tinusok sa bicep. Diyos ko naman, naghahanap ng, naghahanap ng sakit ng katawan niyo. Naawa ako dun sa pasyente, talagang nag-flinch yung pasyente while it is being given. So usually, where do we get this? Or where do we give this? Either in the, diba, in the triceps area, right? Oh. At ang pinaka-common, very good, in the abdomen. Okay. Hindi sa upper, most likely, nilalagay natin to on the lower quadrants of the abdomen. Another thing, when you're giving subcutaneous injections, particularly when it comes to medications such as enoxaparin, Lovenox, as well as that of insulin, what would be the most important thing? We need to cycle, of course, diba? We need to cycle the site. Okay, so always remember that one as well. We need to make sure that we are not, okay, going to just put it on one place altogether. Okay, so that is for your subcutaneous injection. So NLE also loves this kinds of question, especially when you're talking about what do you call this? Hand washing and infection control. So what should the nurse do, or rather, when should you perform, or when should the nurse perform hand hygiene? So guys, even in NCLEX, if you see something like hand hygiene, the best answer is always to include that one, okay? If there's a hand hygiene option, always include that. You'll never go wrong with hand washing. So the best answer for this is all of the above, okay? As per studies, when you're talking about your hand hygiene, it is something, okay? It is something that could effectively cut off or destroy the chain of infection. Okay, that's the most effective one. O, sige po. O, parang napansin ako nagtanong ka kanina, sir, pwede ba namin i-share yung live? Opo, share nyo lang po yung live. Kung may mga gising pa kayong may mga gising pa kayong kaklase na nakikinig ng multo or something like that. Okay? Go ahead. Share it with them. Or may sumasagot na kaagad. Okay? Which of the following site is the most appropriate for assessing circulation of the foot? Okay, what would be the best answer for this? Let's see. So when you're talking about the foot, this is already a peripheral circulation. Okay, di ba? So what's going to happen here? What would be the best? Is it popliteal? Okay, is it carotid, radial? Radial is in the, okay, where's the radial artery? Let's see. Don't worry. Again, tulad ng sinabi ko sa inyo before, and I will always reiterate this, even for my American students or Western students that I have. In this type of practices, reviews and all, don't be ashamed to get it wrong. You can get it wrong here 10,000 times, and those mistakes will eventually turn into learning. Kasi yung mga mali ninyo, we're going to try to correct it. Okay? So let's see. Where's the best? For the foot, for number 3, the best place is the one in the dorsalis pedis. That would be letter D. So this is the pulse site that is found on top of the foot. And it is the best site to assess peripheral circulation to the lower extremities. Now, if you assessed it and you weren't able to feel any form of blood circulation, courtesy of there's no pulse in it, and then there's also accompanying signs and symptoms of pain when you are moving the foot internally. Ibig sabihin, papasok. Ano yon? What is that telling you? So what is popliteal? Ano yung popliteal? Popliteal is, very good, it is the actual pulse behind the knee. Okay? The one that is, ano nga ba, bukong-bukong ba yun in Tagalog? I've lost my Tagalog touch in most of the parts of the body and anatomy. So yes, naandun siya. Yan yung tinitignan. So, balik tayo dun sa tanong, kung wala ka nang maramdaman sa dorsalis pedis, tapos kulay violet na yung paa, parang binalot sa plastic. What is it? What is it indicating? What is it indicating? It's actually indicating, okay, DVTs, right? Or it could be your peripheral vascular diseases, which would also entail a different side or a different group of your interventions for your patient. Okay, so there we go. Let's go and look at our number 4. Lakihan pa nga natin para makita lahat ng mga future nurses na ito. Ay, masyado naman. Okay. The nurse notices that a post-operative patient has a blood pressure of 88/50. What is now your best initial action? Okay. What's now the best initial action? You have a blood pressure. Ayan, kita na ba? Kita na? Kailangan ko nang pailayan ng konti. Ayan. Ito yung hirap sa TikTok eh. Hindi pa ako makaano eh. I cannot stream. I cannot still use TikTok live. Okay. So what would be the best? So you have a post-operative patient. If there would be a drop in blood pressure, just like this, what does this tells you? Okay? I'm also practicing you on how to think critically. That is how you could pass NCLEX. You have a blood pressure drop after a post-operative. So what is it the thing that we're actually looking out for? Very good. Someone answered? Okay. And in most cases, this is the shock of hypovolemic nature. Okay. Because there's a possibility of internal bleeding. So the first indicator of that would be your 88/50, which is your hypotension. Then compensatory mechanisms, because the problem when you're talking about your blood pressure is it is also an indicator of the actual quality of circulation and perfusion. That's why you also have your mean arterial pressure. Your mean arterial pressure, which is your map, is essentially the one that's telling you if there is an effective pressure in your capillaries in order for it to absorb the nutrients. So pag bumababa yung map mo, it means the circulation is not effective. So anong susunod na mangyayari, di ba? Nagkakaroon ka ng tachycardia. And then, dahil nagkukulang na, di ba? Nagkukulang na oxygen, magkakaroon ka ng dyspnea, as well as that of shortness of breathing, plus babagsak ang O2 saturation. So essentially, this is how hypovolemic shock works. And this is very, very common in your post-operative client. Kaya very good yung mga sumagot ng assess for other signs and symptoms of shock. Okay, kaya in-emphasize ko when I actually place in the highlight your shock symptoms, because every time that you will have a post-operative patient, hemodialysis patient, individuals who had been in major accidents that could have caused multiple fractures, particularly on the long bones as well as that of the major bones, particularly in the ribs and all, there could be a possibility of puncture of organs. This is a possible hypovolemic shock. Okay? So assess for other signs of shock. Tandaan ha, this is also a tip. Okay, tip time. Okay. In every form of exam, okay, always remember when there is a question about procedure, what are you going to do? Always remember okay, our standard of the nursing process. ADPI. Assess, diagnose, plan, intervene, and evaluate if the care is effective. Sir, may Palmer po kayo discussion? Yes. Naka-line up na yan. Huwag kayong mag-alala. I already am preparing my pharmacology discussion and Palmer because I'm also going, the Palmer and pharmacology is almost the same in NCLEX. May konti lang siyang tweak, but it's the same. It's generally the same. Opo, kung ano eh, kasi may nagtatanong nga sa akin, sir, ba't di na lang kayo magtayo ng review center? Eh, ba't pa ako magtatayo ng review center? In fairness naman, pag maging nurse ka dito sa US, totoo naman, maganda talaga ang ibibigay sa buhay mo. Pero, ba't ako magtatayo ng review center when the mission of this live, with the mission of this, is to actually help those who cannot afford that. Diba? So, I'm literally going against my, diba? Literally going against my principle of, you know, okay, review tayo ng NCLEX, review tayo ng NLE. O sige, bayaran niyo ako 10,000. Yes, ginagawa ko na to. Ginagawa ko na to because nursing, tulad nga sinabi ko on my previous live, nursing has been very good to me, my family, and my life. Kahit sabihin yung nagka-epilepsy ako and all, this made me who I am today. So it's like me giving back to the community. Okay po? Kasi hindi lang naman, kumbaga, I also believe on the aspect that if God give you something, especially knowledge, share it. Share it. Kasi yung iba talaga sasabi magbabayad daw sila. Oh, sige, kung gusto niyo ng talagang focus class, oh sige, gawa tayo. Kasi yung iba naman na may pambayad. Pero sa mga walang pambayad, yes, I'll also be happy to help. Okay? Walang problema doon. Okay, ayun pa yung tanong pala kaganina na napansin ko. Ano daw po ba yung Palmer? Okay, yung Palmer is Professional Adjustment, Leadership, Management, and Research in Nursing. PALMER. Together with Psychiatric Nursing, that is the test 5 of your NLE. And that is the most dreaded of all the tests in the NLE because it has everything. Prioritization, the concept of research. Kanina may nagtanong, sir, pagpapaturo ba kami ng research sa inyo? Okay lang. O sige. O, sinong kailangan magpaturo ng research? Magsabi lang kayo. Yes, lagi na po ako magla-live kasi maayos na yung schedule ko. Tapos na kasi yung term dito sa US. It's already the sem break. The summer semester have already finished. So I'll be back again teaching by the fall semester. That would be around October. So I have August up until September to actually run around and do things. Oh, nakita ko si Mimi. Hi, Mimi. Okay. That's one of my previous schoolmate and also one of my students. Okay. Yes. And Klex, I'm going to there's a group on my bio. Mamaya i-share ko na lang dito sa inyo. There's a group on my bio. Ipakita ko rin sa inyo that I'm using for helping NCLEX. Okay, let's continue on with our question number 5. We're talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Which needs must be addressed first? Okay, so which needs must be addressed first? Mhm. So we're talking about what? When you're talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, this is where the concept of physiologic versus psychologic comes into play. Meaning, we prioritize physiologic, which is essentially basic needs, comfort, and security. That is why we focus on physiological, because you need to focus on living first. And this is also one of the most powerful concepts when we are giving life coaching. Before you start looking for love, before you start for looking for acceptance from others, believe in yourself first, establish your needs first. You need to be physically healthy, you need to be mentally healthy before you actually go into doing stuff. The same principle pagpatulad sa Maslow's. Kasi kahit ano't ano pang gawin mo, tulad ng sinabi ng isa kong coach na kaibigan, yung isang coach na kaibigan ko din, kahit anong gawin mong pagpapakatao, kung wala kang pagkain sa hapag, mahirap na maging mabuti. Nagkakaroon ka ng stressors, nagkakaroon ka ng mga kalaban sa buhay. Even your own principle are being questioned. So always remember that. This is not just a study of, some nursing or whatnot. This is also real life. And believe me, guys, I've handled um, couples, because my main specialty in coaching is couples, child rearing, and at the same time, education and career. So that has been always my gist. And ang daming couples na sobra talagang sweet. Sobrang sweet. Pero nawalan ng trabaho si lalaki. Hindi na makapag-provide kay babae. Ay kulang na lang magpunta kay tulpo. Dahil wala na. So that gives you the idea of how important Maslow's is. This technique that you're seeing right now as well with the physiologic and psychologic could also be used in NCLEX. In fact, even Linda Silvestri, the author of the comprehensive NCLEX review book that has been being used and it's been in circulation for I think 20 plus years, is continually saying that use Maslow as the basis of your prioritization. Okay? That's essential. Okay, but we'll talk more about that when we go to NCLEX. Kung sino man gusto, magla-live din ako ng NCLEX because may utang na ako doon sa mga inaano kong mga anak ko naman sa NCLEX. So, sila rin bibigyan natin ng ano kasi maglalabas ako mamaya ng drills. If you want to answer it, I'll be placing it on a PDF file. It's select all that apply questions in NCLEX and I'll place it in the Facebook group. Which of the following in number 6 is not a principle of proper body mechanics? Okay, this is actually a question that you'll encounter from school all the way to work, all the way to NCLEX, and all the way to even masteral, because this is what we call ergonomics. Okay, why? Our body as nurses is exposed to a lot of stressors. May it be physical, infectious, radioactive, sabihin mo na lahat, hazardous. We are being effective with that. Now, what is the main thing? When you're talking about body mechanics, it's more of like ergonomics, proper angles of the body, using the body to manipulate your strength, preventing injury. So what would be the best thing? The best answer would be bend at the waist when lifting. Very good. Okay. So as much as possible, this is not the best. Okay, not the best principle to use. Why? We need to what? We need to what? This is, by the way, there was a question, bakit sir ganun yung sagot? Kasi this is a negative. Okay? This is a negative response question. Meaning, you're looking for a correct answer, okay? But the correct answer signifies something that is not proper, wrong, or within or with not within policy. Okay? So that's the reason why. Again, which of the following is not a principle of body mechanics? Everything else is actually normal ergonomics and proper body mechanics. Keep the load close to your body. Do not place it away from you because the weight is going to be away from your major muscles, which are essentially your chest, your back muscles, your abdominal muscles. It will now rely on your arm muscle, and the next thing you know, you will have problem with carpal tunnel syndrome. There could be a problem with you having sprain on your elbow. Okay. Yes, Ames. Very good. Instead of bending the waist, you need to bend your knees. Because your knees is actually, mga tuhod natin is connected to your quadriceps, which is also a major muscle group that could eventually help you build. Diba? Kilala niyo si Anatoly? Do you know Anatoly? You might have seen his videos, right? That skinny guy who could literally weight heavy weights. Look at his program because he is a world-renowned, he is actually a world-renowned fitness instructor. And he built his strength on the legs, back, as well as that of the abdomen. And that is something that we need to also focus on being nurses, guys, ha? Kasi totoo po, ngayon nasa magka-40 na yung coach ninyo. Namin ko nang magtatanda na ako, ang dami ng injuries, balikat. Okay, pero yun naman kasi mga ano yun, mga emergency. One time, the one that injured my shoulder was a almost 300-pound guy who was, he cannot stand, he has stroke, limp yung buong left side, naging parang uod, gumapang palabas ng kama. May peg si tatay, Diyos ko. Hinabol ko kasi kung hindi, mapupull out yung peg niya, we will have a bigger problem. So yan yun. Yan yung ano, that's an indication of body mechanics. Okay, let's go to number 7. You were able to enter a room of a Muslim patient during prayer. What is the most culturally appropriate action? Okay. Are you going to interrupt? Yes, PNLE po ito. These are PNLE level questions. So the best answer for this is to, very good. Silence is sometimes the most therapeutic way in dealing with patient. And of course, if there is a moment of spirituality, the best way for you to do is to be at the moment and respect the belief. Okay? A little bit of quiet moment would be good to allow the patient to perform and do the spiritual actions and rituals that he or she is doing. Okay. So that's your number. Okay. Oh, did I left number 10? Where's number 10? Okay. So what is the most effective method of preventing the spread of infection? Sinabi ko na to kaganina. Is it wearing gloves, isolation technique, hand washing, or disinfection? Very good. The single most effective way of preventing infection, regardless if you're in the Philippines, if you're in the US, it's always hand washing. Okay? And there are 5 instances where you do a hand washing, di ba? Kailan yon? Bago pumasok, di ba? Before you enter, di ba? Yan yung una. Entering patient room. Number 2 would be before touching the patient. But of course, make sure that you have your necessary, okay? Be sure that you have your necessary, okay, materials and stuff before you go into the patient. Dapat naka-gloves na. Okay, before touching the patient. And then after touching the patient. Kahit may gloves ka pa po, even though you're protected with gloves, you still need to do hand washing. Then, after or after you have touched, or after exposure to patient's belongings. So ano yung mga kasama dyan? Punda ng, punda ng unan, blankets, clothing of the person. To be honest with you guys, dito sa US, pag meron talagang pumasok dito na may lice, may galis, sinasabi ko sa inyo, talagang exterminator ang pinapapasok. Nagde-defogging. Nagde-defogging yung kwarto. And sometimes I have my EVS team do a UV. Kasi kasama yun sa policy. Kailangan may UV treatment pa for 1 hour of the room. Ganun ang paglilinis talaga nun. Ano lang yan, pero sa atin, di ba? Lisa, kuto, di ba? Wala yan. Mm-hmm. And then, the last one is, okay, after getting out of the room. Okay, this is actually the standard of CDC, Central of Disease Control. Getting out of room. Okay, there you go. Are you learning, guys? Okay, sana natututo. Nakikita niyo yung mga techniques? Okay, di ba? Nakikita niyo yung mga techniques? Ay, how to avail these questionnaires po. Iko-compile ko to kasi ginagawa ko to. Yes, ginagawa ko tong mga to. I have my own question banks. The reason of which is I'm also giving this as an exam to my students. Okay? Binibigay ko rin to as an exam to my students. So, I'm actually teaching from fundamentals all the way to psychiatric and masteral at some point. So, postgraduate, mga leadership and management concept, including research. So, yan. Okay? So, okay mag-alala. Kukompile ko to. I'll make it as a PDF. And then I will put this on the learning group that I started in Facebook. Okay? So, spread the word. Lalo na yung mga nag-aaral pa sa nursing, sige, tulungan natin. Magtulungan tayo. Let's build a community where education can be passed through. Diba? Magtulungan tayo. Kasi, sa totoo lang, meron pa rin, pagdating sa ospital, meron mga malditang nurse, nakakala mo, tagapagmana. Hindi tinuturuan yung precepti. Binubuli. Totoo yun. Oh, dito na tayo. Nursing theory. Nursing theory. So what's the best thing? Okay? Which nursing theories is known? Okay? For the concept of self-care deficit. Okay, self-care deficit. This is one of the most basic. So the self-care deficit is a theory that indicates that people get sick because of their loss of independence. And this was done by, oh, very good. A lot of people are saying it. Dorothea Orem. Very good. Florence Nightingale, of course, the very first nursing theorist, the mother of the new generation of nursing. Florence Nightingale is essentially what? Florence Nightingale is the one that started it all, of course, environmental theory. Hildegard Peplau. Okay? Hildegard Peplau. Who's Hildegard Peplau? Well, mother of modern psychiatric nursing. Jean Watson. Jean Watson. What did Jean Watson did? What is her theory? This is funda. This is fundamentals. Sige nga, tingnan natin. For those that are in TikTok live. Sige, pag-isipan ha. Tingnan natin. So, hindi na naman tayo mag-spoon feeding. Okay? Okay. Interpersonal is Hildegard Peplau. Self-care is Dorothea Orem. Environmental is Florence Nightingale. Very good. Human caring. Jean Watson is human caring. The principle of what caring is about. And also, personally, because me being a psych nurse, bias ako sa dalawang to. Hildegard Peplau and Jean Watson. Because they eventually sum up what you need as a nurse. Kasi hindi ka talaga magiging nurse kung hindi ka malapit o hindi ka magiging malapit sa tao. Oh, in the Blue app, you could just there is actually a link in my bio. You could actually follow that. That's my link towards the for going to the Blue app. If you cannot access it, tell me and then I'll send it over to you guys. Okay. So this is one. Okay. What type of communication is demonstrated when the nurse maintains eye contact and nods during conversation with the patient? Very good. This is an example of the 90% of what you are saying, a non-verbal communication cue. Okay? Especially dito sa US, some of the patients are very, very particular on how you are actually looking at them, how you are gesturing at them. Most of these patients could read body language. And then that's where you're going to have a problem because they could even see that you're rude when you are actually showcasing some gestures. Okay? So that's nonverbal. So be careful, ha? 'Di ba? Parang katulad lang 'yan, 'di ba, sa mga magsyota, oh, 'di ba? Yung tipong tuwang-tuwa. Sino dito yung nakaramdam na niyan? Yung mga ladies natin dito. Oh, makikita kayo ng boyfriend mo, makita mo bigla no nakangiti sa cellphone, and then paglapit mo biglang sumimangot at tinago yung cellphone. Oh, 'di ba? Oh, 'di ba? Ganun 'yon. Guys, 'di ba, yung mga guys natin naman dito, oh, 'di ba? Nakikita niyo nakangiti, yung ating loved ones, yung ating mga ano, yung ating mga prinsesa and all. Paglapit mo nakasimangot. Tapos pag tinanong mo saan tayo kakain, kahit saan, kahit ano, 'di ba? That's how powerful non-verbal. And you ladies, talagang magagaling kayo diyan, eh. Talaga 'di ba, yung tipong irap lang, eh, talagang, behave. Okay, so that's just it's a fun way for us. I'll make this as fun as possible when we are learning so that you could apply it. Okay, which of the following defines an informed consent? This, guys, is one of the most important concept. This could protect you in your license. This could forward your career. This could ruin your career. So ngayon pa lang guys, especially for those who are studying, make sure you are familiar with informed consent. I'll discuss this when we go to Palmer. So an informed consent is something that we are giving in order for the patient to imply that you are allowing you or he is allowing you to actually perform nursing functions to him, including the initial touch. Here in the US, you cannot touch a person just like that. Because if you touch them, they could file battery against you. Okay, those are concepts in Palmer. Okay, so what is this? Which is the best example for this? So the best example for an informed consent is a full, okay, A ba talaga? No, nahati ngayon yung group It's actually C. Okay. An informed consent is a full explanation of the pros and cons of your procedure, medication, treatment, therapy, approaches to wellness. Yes, you heard it right. Even glutathione here, kailangan may informed consent. Because anything that you do to your patient, okay, is going to be, anong pinaka-point nito? Lahat ng gagawin natin could have an impact on the life of the patient. So yes, most of the misconception would be, oh, it's only for surgery, it's only for treatment. No, it's not. It's on every nursing action that you're going to do with the patient. Okay? Okay, let's move forward. Number 12. When should vital signs be assessed? What would be the best answer? When should vital signs be assessed? As a nurse, the best answer is? Would it only be when admitted? Will it only be once per shift? Okay. This is a trapping question. Okay, this is a trapping question. Why? Vital signs is a very necessary and important assessment. So, if your clinical judgment would seem or deem it necessary, very good. It is when you feel it necessary. Okay, because this is the one that would give you the initial picture of your patient. Kaya nga, di ba, vital signs is one of your most important aspect of assessment. Okay? You needed to check this. Okay, let's go to number 13. A client with limited mobility is at risk for pressure ulcers. What is the most important nursing intervention for this patient? This is your turning side to side. Very good. Reposition the patient every 2 hours. Because why? The problem with the cubitus ulcer is that when the patient is immobile, therefore you need to shift the weight of the patient. Okay? So we could use what? We could use wedges. We could use pillows. Okay? In order to prevent buildup of pressure. And then the problem is once pressure together with moisture, yung pawis ng pasyente, it would cause initial maceration and irritation on the lining of the epidermis, resulting to the actual destruction of it. So ang nagiging damage is not actually outward, it's going to be inward to the point that it will affect the muscles. And here in the US, I tried to become a home health nurse and hindi ko lang mapakita yung mga pictures sa inyo because that's going to be full-blown HIPAA. And I will lose my job and everything. Your coach will be in jail by 5 o'clock. So I cannot show it. But I've seen the worst of them. There was even one that I changed for a wound vac. And when I removed it, I thought the wound vac was this, ano lang siya, mababa. No. Do you see those yung kasim ng baboy that you see in the market? 'Di ba may nakausling buto? Tapos doon kumukuha ng pangsinigang. Yun, ganun ang itsura. Nakalabas yung yung femoral bone. That is essentially a unstageable. Yes, ganun yung mga sugat nila dito. Especially the obese patient. Nako. Grabe yan. Talagang makikita mo para talagang shinotgun yung puwet. Baka matanggal ako sa community standard. Sir, magkatulad lang po bang exam ng PNLE and NCLEX? Pakitaan ko kayo ng NCLEX after this discussion of ours. And then I will discuss it with you as well in the next slide. The nurse observes a coworker documenting a procedure that was not performed. What is your best initial action? If ever that there is an indication, what would be the best thing? This is an example of a Palmer question, particularly focusing on conflict management and the escalation of possible conflicts at the workplace. So what would be the best? Okay. Do we initially report to the nurse manager? Okay. Are you sure? Okay. You will report to the nursing manager if you have already established that this is an inadequate performance of duty. Now, how can you say that this is an inadequate performance of duty? Kung parang sinasadya lang. Kung ikaw yung nurse na tumingala ka lang sa langit, nakita mo na yung Q4 vital signs mo. No, di ba? Dumighay ka lang ng konti. You already have everything. Okay? Very good. You need validation. So letter C. Very good for everyone who answered letter C. That is the correct answer. Okay. Okay. Yes, oo. Mag-TikTok tayo. Let's make I'm actually an advocate of that for the longest time kahit sa Pilipinas pa kasi nga being a person with epilepsy and being a psych nurse, I've been involved with a lot of psychiatric groups and mental health groups in the Philippines. One of my probably proudest achievement is not just being a nurse. I was able to sit in one of the public consultation of the Senate of the Philippines, as well as that of the Commission on Human Rights during the drafting of the Philippine Mental Health Law. So yeah, yung talagang makausap mo si Miriam Defensor Santiago, that's probably my biggest achievement in all. Yes. Kaya yun yung kaya palagi kong ini-emphasize yan na when you're looking at things, make sure that you make a change. Okay? Kasi once upon a time, sobra akong militante. Aminado ko dun. Yung mga nagsisisigaw sa kalye, once upon a time I was like that. But when I realized shouting is not going to do anything, doing is going to change something, I'd rather do. And here we are. Okay? The nurse is reviewing the chain of infection. What is considered a portal of exit? Meaning, from the one who carries it to another person. So what would be? Is it the skin? The mouth? Mm-hmm. Oh, ba't di bumababa? Ayun. Skin, the mouth, the nose, or is it all of the above? Okay? It is essentially, it's essentially all of the above. Okay? This is also another trapping question. So everything, okay, that is an orifice, okay? Everything that could be a vehicle of infection. Kung anong orifice natin, pag sinabi natin orifice, ano yon? Mouth, nose, eyes, through the tears, an open mucosa on the mouth, an open lesion on the skin that would have bodily fluids, that is a portal of infection. Okay? Everything. Okay? Everything is a portal of infection. Okay, what is the purpose of your nursing care plan? Oh, maraming galit dito. Ilan na napagalitan ng mga CI? Hmm. Ilan na napagalitan ng CI dyan dahil dito. Pinapagawa to. So what is it? Very good. The main purpose of your nursing care plan is to provide individualized patient care for your patients. Okay, what's the correct order of the nursing process? So parang giveaway na lang to. This is letter B. Very good. AdPi or SOPI. Okay, here in the US, we use SBAR, especially for the reporting. But we're still focusing primarily on AdPi when it comes to the actual flow of interventions towards the patient. Which nursing action demonstrate advocacy for the patient? This is also a fundamental, but at the same time, Palmer concept. When you're talking about advocating for the patient, what does it mean? Mm-hmm. So the best answer for this is to, okay, speaking up to ensure the patient's needs are met. So an advocate, okay, an advocate is somewhat of a representative. Okay. Okay, it's the representative of the patient towards the multidisciplinary healthcare team in order for you to relay the needs of the patient. Because let's say, for example, your patient is having a major stroke or a massive brain bleed that have caused both expressive as well as that of comprehensive aphasia. So, how is he going to actually say things? I had this kind of patient that when you're talking with him, he'll just eventually look at you like this, blank out, and then, oh, yes, that is what I want to do. Yeah, that's how aphasia is happening, especially dementia. You need to be a champion for your patient. Okay, you need to be a champion for your patient. Okay, next, you have number 19. What is the normal adult respiratory rate? The normal respiratory rate is 12 to 20. Very good. That is the normal cycle. Finally, in number 20, the nurse uses a sterile technique when inserting the Foley catheter. What type of asepsis if there is a sterile technique that is being used? Okay. This is letter. Very good. This is your surgical asepsis. Okay. So, putting it simply, guys, ano napansin ninyo? Diba? You know it, right? You haven't read? You might have been browsing TikTok before you encountered my live. And then, yan. Di ba? Biglang biglang nandito. Tapos, nagtanong kayo, nagtatanong ako, and then out of nowhere, you have it. Okay. So I think we have a very lively discussion right now happening. Okay. Let me just stop the recording, and then I'll be editing this. Okay. There we go.